Good morning everyone, this is Fatima from Fatooms Kitchen. Today we are going to prepare a shepherd's pie, our version of shepherd's pie, which we are going to serve with garlic bread, green salad and some fried plantains. Alright, here I already had boiled the potatoes, which I'm going to now mash the potatoes and set aside. Okay, so now we are about to mash our potatoes, which I will set aside, and then cook the meat and then put everything together. And remember that all the recipe will be on our website. Alright, to the potatoes, I'm going to add some butter which I've melted. I'm eyeballing the milk, just some milk. A dash of complete seasoning, the all-purpose seasoning. Some grated Italian style Parmesan cheese. Sour cream. Get a little more sour cream here. I have some Monterey Jack. Chives. A little bit of salt. I have a little bit of freshly grated garlic, or you can use powdered garlic if you want. I'll just mix this together now, and then I'll start mashing. Now with this you can use the potato flakes, but I like using the fresh, I like using my boiled potatoes. You can add a little more cheese to this mixture. A little more sour cream. Just a teeny weeny bit of milk. Okay, just going to taste it now just for the garlic now as I add garlic and salt. Need a little color. So more chives in it. I don't have freshly grated garlic, right? So I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder. So now I'm going to set this aside, and then I'm going to move on shortly to make the filling. So I'll just cover this here. So I'm now about to cook the meat for the shepherd's pie. So my pot is nice and hot. I'm going to go in with some olive oil. Let this kind of heat up. Cover this up. Alright, to this I have my onions and colored bell peppers, red, green, orange. I'm going to throw in. Alright, I'm going to turn my heat down to like 4 now. I'm going to cook this for like, just until it softens up a bit. Whoa, this smells so good in here. The aromatics is really, really nice. Now to this, I'm going to throw in my garlic. Let this saute for about 30 Now I'm going to go in with my seasoned ground beef. I season it with our green season, which the recipe is on our website. I put some all-purpose seasoning and Worcestershire sauce. So I'm going to go in with this. I just like to kind of spread it like this, let it cook nicely, and then brown, then turn it. So I'm going to put the heat up to about 9 for a few minutes. I'll just let this sit like this here. And just press that. I like doing it this way because when it's done this way and it gets nicely brown and I turn it over, it has that sort of smoky flavor. You see, this is how I like to get it, like this. So now I'm going to turn it over. Okay. I'll leave this for about 2 minutes and then I'll mix it up. Okay, now I'm just going with my meat masher. I'm just going to give it a little mash. So now I'm going to stir this up. I'll lower the heat now back to like 6. Now I have, this is some hot dogs, the Nathan Hebrew kosher hot dogs. This gives it a nice sort of smoky flavor. I'm going to let this cook for about 2 minutes. The flavors infuse. Okay, now to this I'm going to add some parsley, dry parsley, some oregano. As I diced whole tomatoes, and I'm going to add the mushrooms, some portobello mushrooms. Okay, I have some peas and carrots. I'm going to add some, eyeballing some smoked paprika. I have some of the bouillon, vegetable bouillon, which I dilute in some water to make like a little stock, which I'm going to add in here now. Okay. Now I'm going to cover this and let this cook for about 5 minutes until the tomatoes and it's sort of tender, and then I'll add more seasoning if needed. Okay, so I'm going to cover this and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to check this now. Oh yes, the tomatoes are all done. Nice and soft. Let this dry a little bit because I don't like too much moisture in the shepherd's pie, but I like a little bit so it gives it that juiciness, you know, the flavor. Now I usually put a little, I sometimes use a dry mustard. I don't have any, so I'm just putting a little mustard in, about 1 teaspoon. Now with this, sometimes I use a can of rotel instead of the fresh, the tomatoes, the mild rotel, or you can use whatever sauce. But we tend to like fresh tomatoes or the rotel because it doesn't have any sort of like the marinara sauce and the spaghetti sauce. I don't like that. There's too much sugar in it. I'm about here. We are ready to assemble the shepherd's pie. So I'm going to just nicely spray my dish. I'm going to put some potato at the bottom. Okay, now I just set this aside here. Then I'm coming with the meat. You just have to change the spoons to get the meat now. You have to use a bigger spoon like this. Okay. I'm going to put most of all the mixture in here. Now sometimes when I do this, if I have too much of the mixture, the meat mixture, I would just leave it, and you can easily make some beef, some patties, some beef pies. I'm going to use all, right? Yeah, because there's not a lot. To get all the flavor, everything, the juice, everything in. So I'll just screen this. Now I'm going to sprinkle some cheese in the middle here. So to be nice and gooey. Some of the grated parmesan, and then top with the rest of potato. So I'll just go with small dollops here and then spread. Okay, now I usually put the cheese, I put this in a preheated oven at 350 to bake, and then I'll put the cheese when it's almost finished, and then let the cheese brown, you know. Okay, so I'm going to set this in the oven now and let this bake. Okay, now I'm just going to check on the shepherd's pie and the garlic bread in the oven. Is ready. Alright, this is the garlic, the shepherd's pie, and the garlic bread is here. It's finished. So now I'm going to fry the plantain. So just rest this here, like that. here I have the plantain, which I have sliced and put a little bit of brown sugar. And this is the ripe plantain that I used. The last one you had it down where you could have seen right here. Okay, and this is the plantain here. Okay, when it's ripe. So I'm going to turn on the stove and heat up some oil to fry this. So I'm going to turn my stove up to high and then I'll lower when I start frying. Now with the plantain, you can do so many different things with the plantain, because you can boil this. I usually would boil it and then cut it in like rounds like this, scoop it out and fill it with spinach and feta cheese and put it back in the oven. Put it in the oven to bake. You can make lasagna, plantain lasagna. You can wrap it with turkey or bacon and put it in the oven and bake it. It's nice for brunch, it's nice for lunch, and when you get the green plantain, you can make your plantain chips. I'll just slightly lower the heat, and now I'm going to start putting the plantain to fry. Now you can cut the plantain in rounds and fry it, it's your choice. But I always like cutting it like this. And this here is 2 sort of medium plantain. So now this is how I like the plantain. You see it fried nice golden brown on both sides. Okay, and here I have it, all the fried plantain. I'll be right back. Okay, now this is the finished meal, which is shepherd's pie, garlic bread, is fried plantain, some jerk chicken that we did earlier on. We made a little sauce to put over it, tossed salad. Okay, we have been off the air for a little while, but we plan to be back at least once a week. And thank you very much for viewing. All our recipes can be found on our website. And have a pleasant evening and see you guys soon.